Hey guys, welcome back to another DirectX engine tutorial. In the last tutorial we did an entity manager that will just manage all our entities. Anyways, in this video I'm gonna do input. I was gonna go somewhere else actually and start doing the player, but I'm gonna need input to move the player, so might as well do the input first. So let's do that now. So we want to do, without further ado, I want to create a class. We want to add class. And I'm gonna name it input. Call it input manager or whatever. Input sounds good to me. So once you create it, we do the normal stuff that we usually do on top. Alrighty. No. Yeah, end it. What am I talking? Alright. So what we're gonna do, you wanna go to your solution, whatever you named your project. You wanna go to properties. And you wanna go to linker and wanna go to input. And you wanna add, I'm not sure if I actually already included it. No, I did not include it. So you wanna include dinput8.lib, and you wanna, do I have it already actually? No, yeah, I don't have it. Call it dxguid.lib. So we have that. Make sure it compiles, hopefully. Yes, it does. Okay, so on top, we can include a preprocessing directive. Let me write it first, and I'll explain what it does. We call it pound define direct input underscore version. So it's down here. And you want to set it to 0x0800. So basically, this is gonna do pre-processing directive. So basically, this does it removes. If you don't actually have this, if you don't have this, it's gonna give you a whole bunch of messages saying that this input on DirectX input is gonna be defaulted to a certain version, and it's kind of lame and annoying having that version every single time you can compile this game or run it. Every time it mentions it, oh, you don't have the right version or something about DirectX input, and it's gonna be defaulted to a version. So what this does is basically it removes that message. So it removes annoying message. Defaulting to version. Usually it tells you it defaulted to a version 8. So since after they actually haven't updated it anymore, since this input doesn't really need it anymore, I guess you could say perfected its input class, whatever. But anyway, now that I said that, you want to include a dinput.h, and now we're gonna go to our class. We're gonna have bool initialize h instance h_d int screen width. Okay. Come on, int screen height. We're gonna have a bool update. We're gonna have a bool is key down. We're gonna pass in an unsigned int key, and we can have another bool is key hit. So in case you want to have want to press on a key that only does it one time. So it's pretty useful. So I included this for you guys. I wasn't going to, but I did that before the video, so pretty useful to have it sometimes. And you want to get the mouse input, mouse position. I mean, so int x, int y. Now we want to go to private. We can initialize const static int. I'm naming num keys since num keys consist of 256 num keys. When it comes to input, it only reaches up to 256, so it never goes beyond that. So I'm gonna set it to 256. I'm gonna call bool read keyboard, bool read mouse, and bool process input. You're gonna have an ID iDirect input 8, pointer mdirect inputs, iDirect input device 8. Why did not? There we go. Okay, and keyboard. Another ID, the same one, iDirect input device 8. And that one's gonna be for the mouse. Okay, now we can have a boolean of m keys. And I'm gonna pass it in the s num keys, or whatever you named it. And we also want to have a previous keys. This previous keys will make it so that we can at least, if you want to have one key to do it one time when you press it. So that's what this one's gonna be for. You also want to do a di mouse states, and you just call it mouse states. You want to have an int m screen width, int m screen height, int mouse x, and int m mouse y. Now that we have that, alright, so like always, went ahead and did the CPP file, the stuff that we needed real quick. And in constructor, make sure you set the DirectX keyboard and mouse to 0 or null. And set the keys, set the keys to equal 0, which means set everything in there to false. Because if you don't set it, everything's defaulted to true. So make sure you set it to false. Probably it's not necessary, but it's good to have it just in case. So you want to, and make sure you also release your stuff on a destructor. So once you have done so, you want to go to initialize, call h results. I say m screen width equals screen width, m screen height equals screen height. I'm gonna set the mouse to 0, mouse x equals 0, and mouse y equals 0. We want to initialize the direct input interface. Result equals direct input 8 create. I'll pass in each instance direct input version. Pass in IID underscore iDirect. I misspelled it. Direct input 8. iDirect input 8. You want to pass a this void pointer, and you want to pass dereference mdirect input, and set the last parameter to null. And like we always do, you want to check if it failed, and if it did, then make sure to return false. Okay. Now we want to initialize our keyboard. So scratching. Okay, initialize keyboard interface. You want to say result equals. Now you want to use the mdirect input. Mdirect input create device. You want to pass the GUID sys keyboard. You're gonna pass second parameter to keyboard, and last parameter to null. And like always, what we do, if failed, return false. Now we want to do we want to set the data format for the keyboard. So when it's result equals and keyboard set data formats ampersand c underscore df di keyboard. And like always, what you want to do is make sure it has not failed. Set data format for keyboard. And once we have done so, we also want to initialize the cooperative level so that keyboards will not share with other programs. So set cooperative level of the keyboard so it doesn't share with other programs. So you want to set result equals m keyboard set cooperative level, pass an h domain d, and you have to say discl foreground or discl exclusive. And like always, want to make sure if it failed, return blah blah blah. And if everything ended up good, you want to say result equals m keyboard acquire and like always, make sure it doesn't equal false. Now you want to initialize some mouse interface. Initialize mouse interface. Result equals m direct input create device. That's in GUID underscore sysmouse. Passing the mouse, second parameter, and last parameter makes it a null. Make sure it doesn't fail. You want to set the data format for the mouse. For mouse, result equals m mouse. Set data formats. You pass in the c underscore df di mouse. And like always, make sure it doesn't fail. And the wrong one. If you have to set format, we also want to set the cooperative level. Same thing as top. Cooperative level of the mouse. So not share with other programs. Okay, you want to say results equals m mouse set cooperative level, and we want to set it passing an HWD. And the same thing as almost the same thing as the other one, discl foreground or discl non-exclusive. And like always, you want to set it false. I mean, if it didn't get it correctly, return false. Otherwise, result equals you want to acquire the mouse. And mouse acquire. And like always, it failed. Return false. Otherwise, now you want to return true because we actually got it. Now, in our update input update, you want to mem cpy. You want to set our previous keys to equal our current keys, or so keep track of it before you actually update again. You want to pass the size of bool times s num keys. Why don't you do it times s num keys? Okay. Now that we have done that, we're gonna call a bool result. And we want to say we want to update our we want to read our keyboard. Read keyboard. So results equals read keyboard, which will update our keys. And of course, if it doesn't initialize correctly, return false. Now I want to read our mouse. Result equals read mouse. And like always, if not results, return false. And then we want to update our mouse position. Process input. And return true. Now we have done that. So we might as well start initializing our read keyboard. We'll come back to this at the end. They're simple. We want to go to a read keyboard. Okay. We're gonna pass in h results. We want to read keyboard device. Result equals m keyboard. Why don't you do it? M keyboard. Get device state. You get size of m keys. And I want to pass an LP void ampersand m keys, which will update our keys. And like always, it failed. Before, it's gonna be a little bit different in here. So if it failed, I'm gonna say if results equals the error input lost, or results equals the error not acquired. If we want to reacquire our keyboard, in case it was lost. Otherwise, then we return false if it wasn't any of those. And then we return true if it met any of those cases. Now we want to read our mouse. We want to create something in here that I realized that sometimes if you breakpoint something before it reaches its update, so right at the beginning, you put a breakpoint before you even call this update or anything else. For some reason, the mouse does not get initialized. For some reason, I don't know why it doesn't. So what I want to do here is sometimes mouse doesn't get initialized when putting a breakpoint before it reaches its update. So let's put a breakpoint somewhere in initialize or somewhere. Sometimes the mouse will not get initialized correctly, so we're gonna say if mouse equals null, then say direct input create device. You want to press a GUID sys mouse. Pass in the mouse. For some reason, it's a weird because then I'm gonna have to turn it off and remove the breakpoints and then run it again. But it sucks doing that every single time if you're debugging stuff. So I mean, it's good to have that. So make sure you put that. So anyway, so after that, you want to say h results. Now we're gonna read a mouse state device. And say results equals m mouse get device state size of di mouse states. Pass an LP void. And you want to say mouse states. Okay. Spelled. That should have been comma. I don't know. Okay, anyway. The next goal is if it failed. No, that's not what I meant to do. It's almost the same thing as the other one. Exactly the same thing as the other one. If it failed inside. Instead of saying that, you want to set the mouse acquired. So, otherwise, return false. And that's it for that function. Now in our process input is where you update our mouse position that you want to keep. Say mmouse plus equals mmouse state dot lx, that's the x input position, and we're gonna set mmouse state dot ly. We'll also want to make sure it doesn't go below 0. Because if it goes below 0, set mmouse x equals 0. You want to do the same thing with the y. And you also want to test case for if it goes beyond the screen width. Then mouse x equals screen width, or mouse y equals greater than screen height, and mouse y equals screen height. And then I guess that's it, right? Yeah. So that's it for our process input, which will update. Now we want to go to this is key down stuff. So here's a simple one-liner thing: return keys key. Make it more simpler for you guys. Just return equals true. That's what we want to do. Not for is key hit. It's a little bit different. It's a one-liner too, though. So keys. So if our current key is true and our previous key has not been updated, like if our previous key is up and our current key is down, then that's considered a key hit. That's it for this. And then we have our mouse. You want to say x equals mouse x, y equals mouse y. So I get our mouse position. That's all you need to do. And that's it for, let me see, hold on, before, make sure it compiles. Yep, there you go, guys. So that's what we have right now. That's it for our input class. I hope you guys like. Oh wait, you know what? Let's initialize it. I haven't initialized the engine. So hold on, I'm a little bit ahead of what I'm in. Okay, so in here, I'm not sure what I want to call it. Oh, it's calling here. Wait, hold on. I need to include your input. Camera, input, pointer, and inputs. You also want to get a getter function for that input. And once you've done so, go with that, go to our engine CPP, make sure it equals null, and delete it. In the start engine initialize, you want to say m equals new input, m initialize is a boolean. Yes, okay. You say if not this, Do we have it? Each instance. Press each domain D. Screen width. Screen height. If it failed, make sure return false. But do we care about returning false? It's good to have it though. So once we have done that, we want to make sure you update it at least once. I'm just kind of dumb to have it, but I think that's why it breaks on me. But then again, we call initialize up here, so. And remember earlier I told you sometimes when you break pointing, the mouse does not get initialized. But maybe this is the reason. But then again, I am initializing it in here, so it should be initialized by the time I get to update. So that is a little weird for some reason. But anyway, once you have done so, in the update, just make sure input update. And I think that is about it. I believe so. There's one last thing you would like to do though, because initializing our DirectX input, it kind of fails doing this. This input one that our program has initially doesn't work anymore. At least when it comes to key down. The other stuff does work, but when it comes to key down, key up, it doesn't work anymore. So what you want to do in here, you want to say, let's include, I should be input should be initialized in here already actually. Call input pointer input equals engine get input. I have not called that function yet. I just realized. Wait, hold on. Get engine. Give me a second. Give me a second. Forgot the name of the escape key. Oh, it's right here. Oh no, wait. Is it that one? No, it's a different one. Like I said, this stuff does not work anymore when it comes to initializing initializing your DirectX input. So we want to say if input does not equal null and input is key down, and you want to pass DIK escape. If that's the case, then you just want to make sure you call this stuff in here and return 0. So in case you want to press the escape key when you want to return or something. Wait, hold on, I have not called this. Oh, it should break on me, I believe. Yes, there we go. I have not called it yet. Shoot. You want to create a get input, return input. So return input. So now that you want to press escape, it should work eventually. Maybe, maybe not. Alright guys, I finally found the reason why this wasn't working. It's so dumb, I don't know why it doesn't work that way, to be honest. But it doesn't. I mean, when inside is key down, make sure you remove this equals true. Which initially should be right? Key is down when that certain key in that array is true. For some reason it doesn't return right. I don't know what's going on. I'll probably look into it in the future, but right now I just want to make it work, and it works now. Now it works, so you press the escape, so. Jeez, took me a while to find that. I thought there was something wrong with my code, or something, I don't know. Let me try the other one. I know I'm saying that it works already, and I haven't tried the key hit one yet. There we go. Alright. Alrighty guys, I hope you guys liked this video. Jeez. Well, at least the hard part's done now. All the framework or this engine is complete, kind of done. 99% of it. I mean, this is a simple engine, like I mentioned. The next thing is creating this game component where the main scene or game scene should be initialized. So we don't have to put everything inside engine. So that's our next thing, and I'll do player in that same tutorial because it's a short video. I mean, it's a short. Game component shouldn't be that hard. Game component shouldn't be that hard. So I'll see you guys next time, and I hope you guys thumbs up this video if you guys liked it, and I'll see you guys next time. So signing out, and have a good day, guys. Sayonara.